fire safety hazards, safety engineers. There are people like that study that. Then there are people that investigate airplane crashes. It's called the FHA, the federal government has an agency, and they go and they look for whether the body was blown out by an explosion, or whether the engine failed, or whether a bird flew into the turbines. But airplanes are not rigged to generate a certain sound that will keep birds away from the airplane. That's what's needed. So that goes blinking in every lab. What do you need for air safety? It lists a whole lot of things, and you start on that. You understand? So labs don't just work on anything. It's a survey committee that tells them what to work on. So it's never a dictatorship. Now it looks like to normal people that you're telling him what to work on. Where do you get it? From surveys. So it's not you dictating. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Is Fresco there telling everybody what to do? No. It's telling them what they ought to do in order to come up with ideas. But if you see anything wrong with anything, bring it up. Does that make sense?
Yes, sure.
So there's no dictatorship in it. Now, who runs the whole system? With global connections to shipping, agriculture, you can see conditions on Earth. Every hurricane, every iceberg melting, the temperature all over the world. So your decisions are right before you. Now, you don't need a person sitting there. You can have electronic inserts all over the world. So, I don't know if you know this, but under the ocean, when an earthquake occurs, it pushes the ocean up. That's what a tsunami is. If you have flotation units in the ocean connected to transmitters, when a tsunami builds up pressure in the ocean, that transmitter transmits to all the islands within 1,000 miles that a wave will come 3 hours from now. Get the hell out of this shit. Get off the beaches, get inland, seek heights. There's certain things we can't do. If a tsunami occurs near the shore, we can only do this. We want to put in a mile away from the islands. This is an island, all land. This is the tsunami coming toward that land. You can either build a barrier here, you know what that means? Barrier of stones, or you can build a wedge 1 mile away. The wedge is concrete, and it's got reinforcement all through it, like this, and it's floated and sunk in front of all islands. It's a mile out at sea. So when the tsunami hits, by the time the mass wave gets there, it's parted. This would take too much material. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Now, it's very easy to copy and patent. But I'm just telling you, just say, well, I've seen a lot of things at the Venus Project that take care of those problems. Because how does it work? That's a commercial question.
Right.
Do you know what that means? That's a commercial question. How does it work? Yes, people can make money with that. Saying we don't disclose how our concrete is lighter and better. We use, in some instances, bicarbonate soda mixed in the concrete, and that produces bubbles in the concrete. But they're better mixtures than bicarbonate soda. But I'm just giving you an idea. There are two metals. One is called antimony, and the other is called bismuth. If you twist them together and put a match on one end and heat it, the other end becomes ice cool. So if you make your roof of dissimilar metals with the cool end, the one end up and the other end inside the building, the hotter the sun gets, the cooler the building gets. No air conditioning, no pumps, just the weather itself. The metal is antimony and bismuth twisted together. If you tell that to people, they might eventually make roofs of that.
Thermodynamics.
Hmm?
Thermodynamics.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, now here's another thing. These are the things that you should know, but try not to disclose it. When you make a roof of a building, they make it of tiles. One tile over the other, like that. Have you ever seen them?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's a tile roof. The tile roof does not support itself. It's dead weight. But if you make a corrugation like this of tile, and it's one continuous surface, it's self-supporting. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
If you metallize this, you know, metallize means spray liquid metal on a very thin coat, and then put glass coat over that, it won't rust.
Right.
Then you put, I'm going to just blow up one corrugation. It's an inverted corrugation, like this. And this is silver, highly reflective. If you put a pipe here, you can concentrate the sunlight on water. And the pipe is not round, it's shaped more like this, with a mirror coat in the back. So you heat all that water, and it runs up and back through the corrugations. So not only is it a roof that reflects and heats water, it's self-supporting. Corrugations, these tiles do nothing. They're long-lasting, but they're dead weight on the roof. Do you understand that? Engineers use terms. They call it dead load. When you design the building, a dead load is everything in the building. The causes, the stuff that's not moved around. The live load are people walking around. So the dead load on this is practically zero because it's self-supporting. Do you understand that?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
So when a person says, what are you going to do for energy? The word is geothermal. That's natural heat of the earth. Underneath, about 50 miles, is magma, molten stuff. The continents float on that magma, and they drift. All the continents are always drifting. So, geothermal heat is there forever. So with geothermal energy, you can run the earth for thousands of years. I just said 1,000 on the internet. But thousands of years of energy. All along the California coast, under the oceans, are geothermal vents. So if you're getting geothermal, the temperature difference between the surface of the ocean and the bottom. There are rivers under the ocean that are ice cold that go through the tropics. So if you can generate electricity by temperature difference. It's called temperature differential. Oh, she wants me to take vitamin pills.
So you do take vitamins. What is your diet? Because do you?
Good idea.
Yes. Do you think?
When you
So-
travel, vitamin C. Or doctor
Yeah,
says.
otherwise you catch cold in an airplane because the same air is circulating. If you use electrostatic filters, you can, or ultraviolet tubes, the air goes through those, sterilize, all airborne bacteria die, then the air comes back. All airlines will be equipped with not just pumps that pump the air around, but ultraviolet to sterilize it and maintain the oxygen content, which is best for, if you have 500 passengers, it's different than 200. Do you understand that?
Maya just said that they're downstairs.
Can I do one more question?
Yeah.
Who's downstairs? The group?
All right,
Yeah.
energy.
I have to go and catch a train because it's 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Energy, heat concentrators, that's a parabolic reflector. The rooftop is heat concentrators. Photoelectric cells, wind for energy. But if you just use the wind alone, build generators all over, that will take care of the nations of the world. But if you use heat concentrators, that can take care of everything. There are areas that are cold, and are overcast all the time. So you'll use geothermal energy there. So different areas would use, the tropics, for example, can get far more energy than they need from the sun. But if you want to live, say, in areas that will not support human life, like the tundra, you know what I'm talking about? to northern Canada. You build underground cities 800 feet long with a dome ceiling. And then you have trees growing on top. But in the underground cities you have palm trees, orange trees, because it's heated by geothermal energy. You can live there if you want to. So you can walk around in shorts all winter, or take an elevator up and go skiing on the upper surface. You understand? People have to know about these things.
Jack, there's a group downstairs, they want us to move downstairs. Did you have a question, Simon, one question
Just-
yourself?
Just one.
That's right.
He's still going.
Yeah.
Just interdisciplinary teams. How would they work?
Oh, they're connected because one team designs the structure and the other suggests metallurgist what metal are made of. And another metal student is one of rust and deterioration. And he recommends the outer coating. Titanium, you know that metal, rusts 1/1000th of an inch in salt water in 1,000 years. So all materials will be coated with a thin coat of titanium.
Right.
That's not decided by the structural engineer.
Right.
It's material preservation engineers. So that when the structure's finished, they turn it over to you. And new developments over to you. What's new? And he says there's a better material than titanium.
Right. Okay.
We just found it.
Jack?
Yeah.